Hey, so we are hanging out at the California Democratic Convention and running into all kinds of people at the Rural Caucus, including Jen Newsom, who is the founder of Representation Project. Yes. Hey, Jen.
Hi, how
Good
are
to see
you?
you. So you were hanging out with your husband, who's running for governor, Lieutenant Governor Newsom.
Yes.
But, you empower so many women, or I should say support women to be empowered.
Yes.
What do you want to say to women, especially who are in these rural communities, who are thinking, like, I've never stepped into leadership? Because one of the things I noticed after the march is how many women stepped up who've never done this before.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you've been telling them, like maybe top 3 things about getting engaged, and it feels all new to them?
Right. I mean, look, one doesn't have to make the giant leap into leadership right away. We have to be engaged just daily in terms of information and sitting on local boards and making sure that we have seats at the tables of power, whether it's related to, our local education system or local community, town governance, whatever it is. Like, we can start small and work our way up, but we need to be engaged and we need to make sure that our voices are heard. Period.
What do you have going on with Representation Project right now, especially following the Women's March, which was such, I think, just like a magical moment, wasn't it?
It was so magical. We're all about resistance. We're all about making sure that women have a seat at the tables of power and that men of consciousness use their voices to stand up and speak out on behalf of issues that are human issues, right?
Yeah.
But really, we're doing so much. I'm working on a new film on inequality, connecting sort of the dots.
Balance.
Yes, the gendered hierarchy and the intersection of gender, race, and class. And I'm really proud of the film and excited to birth it into the world, hopefully next year. We're doing a lot of work still with the Mask You Live In. We've been screening across the country and even around the world. I'm headed to London in a week to screen the Mask You Live In.
Mask You Live In is one of the most powerful films I've ever seen around raising healthy boys in our culture.
Right. So really just, look, we couldn't have scripted a presidential race or a president that so aptly illustrates sort of the imbalanced gender dynamic that we have in America, right? And we have to, help our boys and young men recognize that the model that they're seeing in the administration isn't necessarily the healthiest form of masculinity, and to really help them be whole and human and empathetic. Yeah. And that's really, so much of our work. So we're engaging youth. We have our annual youth summit coming up. We've built out our youth representation program. We still have our Global Youth Advisory Council member. We're announcing the new leaders in that this year. So we're just mobilizing youth and mobilizing the adults in youth lives and working in particular industries that kind of influential industries that really influence culture. Yeah. And that's exciting. And there's going to be a lot to come.
That's great. Okay, so Jen is always on the move. You're always in action. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure women say to you, like, how do you do that? Because I know people will say, how do you do all this? Yeah. But I think when you're passionate about something, you figure out how to make it work.
You do. But it's not, look, the system's broke, right? And we women do not, not only do we not always do a great job of taking care of ourselves, but we don't have enough support around us, so it requires a village. We have to find that village, we have to create that village, and we have to find allies, and we have to fix the systems that are broke that don't enable women to have children and do work that requires that they be very engaged. So we have a lot of work to do, and I think that's why I'm doing it.
And I think in collaboration and partnership, it's key. Like,
it's all about partnership.
It was so great to have Representation Project with CJ do and take the lead at the march at the Impact Hub.
Thank you.
It was a big deal.
And it's about us coming together, and I think that's the beauty that you so aptly described with the women's marches. It's really about us coming together and supporting each other.
Yeah, so don't stop.
Yes.
Keep going. All right, thanks,
Dan. Thank you so much.